Losing money on a bad investment, yeah, it stings, but it happens, right?
Yeah.
But imagine this. You pour your savings into something you believe in, and then poof, the person at the helm just vanishes.
Oh, yeah.
Gone.
It's a nightmare scenario.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what went down with QuadrigaCX.
Uh-huh.
It was Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange, at least for a while.
Yeah.
And today, we're diving deep, really deep, into the crypto king's disappearance.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to unravel this mystery. Was it an elaborate exit scam?
Mm-hmm.
Or did something even more, I don't know, bizarre happen?
It's a story that really gets to the heart of what those early days of cryptocurrency were like. You know, that chaotic energy, almost like a financial Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunes being made and lost overnight, very few rules.
Yeah, like a digital gold rush.
Exactly.
So let's start with the basics here. Who was this Gerald Cotten, and how did he manage to build this crypto empire, QuadrigaCX?
Okay, so Gerald Cotten, he was the founder of QuadrigaCX.
Well, right.
And from what we know, he was incredibly good at one thing, getting people to trust him.
No.
He was young, he was tech savvy, and he really played up this image of like the relatable nerd
Right.
who just happened to be, you know, really good at navigating this complicated world of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that nerd image, it's interesting how that actually plays into trust, right?
Yeah.
Especially in an industry that can feel very intimidating, very complex to the average person.
It makes you feel like you're in safe hands. Like,
Right.
he gets it. He's not going to, you know,
Right.
it's not some slick Wall Street guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he's one of us.
Right.
He's just a regular guy who understands this tech.
And that was really appealing, especially to people who were new to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, absolutely. But behind that sort of approachable persona, what was actually going on with QuadrigaCX?
Yeah.
Was it legitimate?
So the platform, it grew really quickly, like really, really quickly,
Okay.
handling millions of dollars in transactions every single day.
Wow.
But there was this one crucial detail, a huge red flag, you know, looking back.
Okay.
Cotten had sole control of something called the cold wallets.
Cold wallets. I've heard the term, but I'll admit I'm a little fuzzy on exactly what that means.
Right. So basically, when you own cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
you have this private key. Think of it like a super secret password
Okay.
that lets you access your funds.
Okay.
A cold wallet stores those keys offline, completely disconnected from the internet.
Oh, okay. So it makes it much harder to like hack or steal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having a safe,
Right.
but not just any safe, a safe that's not connected to any network.
Okay.
It's considered the most secure way to store large amounts of cryptocurrency.
Got it.
But, and here's the big but, with QuadrigaCX, only Cotten had the keys to these cold wallets.
So even though it's designed for security, having one person hold all the keys, it creates this single point of failure.
Yeah, a huge risk.
Right, because if something happens to him, what happens to all that money?
And that question, it would come back to haunt a lot of people, thousands of QuadrigaCX users, actually.
Okay.
And it all started with a trip to India,
Right.
December 2018.
Okay.
Cotten and his wife, Jennifer Robertson, they went on what was supposed to be their honeymoon.
Uh-huh.
They were also going to open an orphanage. Kind of a philanthropic trip.
Sounds nice. Idyllic.
Yeah, until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
That's where things take a dark turn.
What happened?
Cotten died.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, while they were in India, the report said it was complications from Crohn's disease, but things just didn't add up.
Didn't add up. It wasn't just a simple case of, someone passing away unexpectedly.
Right. There were inconsistencies.
Like what?
Almost immediately, people started noticing that Cotten's death certificate had errors. Like, his name was misspelled.
Wait, they misspelled his name on his death certificate?
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty big mistake for a legal document.
You would think. And then there was the embalming. It happened very quickly,
Wow.
which is unusual.
Okay.
And they didn't do an autopsy.
No autopsy.
No.
Even with the misspelled name and the suddenness of his death.
Yeah, it was odd.
So what was the reasoning for that?
They said it was because of cultural sensitivities and practices in India.
Okay.
But given everything else, it raised a lot of eyebrows, It fueled a lot of suspicion.
Right. So at this point, we have a lot of unanswered questions about Cotten's death. And I imagine those questions only multiply when people started asking, where's the money?
Yeah,
Where's the money in those cold wallets?
exactly. That's when this situation went from strange to full-blown crisis.
So,
And the whole crypto world was watching. So those cold wallets, right? The ones that were supposed to be the super secure way to store cryptocurrency offline. Well, when QuadrigaCX announced Cotton's death and they tried to access those funds, to reimburse all the users, they hit a wall.
what do you mean?
The wallets were empty.
Uh-huh.
Over $250 million. Just
Yeah.
gone, vanished.
I can't even imagine.
Panic set in fast. People realized the investments they thought were safe, they were gone.
Yeah, poof, just like that.
Yeah.
Makes you feel sick.
Yeah. The crypto community, they were reeling. It was a total betrayal of trust.
So what happened? Were they hacked? Those cold wallets?
That's what everyone assumed at first.
Right.
But investigators started digging.
Mhm.
And what they found was way more disturbing. Those secure cold wallets, they never existed.
They never, so he was lying about how he was storing everyone's money. How did he get away with that for so long?
That's the thing about trust. It can make you blind to those red flags.
Yeah.
Blockchain analysts, they're the ones who track crypto transactions, right?
Yeah.
They got involved. And what they found, Cotton was moving user funds around between accounts.
So basically, he was running QuadrigaCX like a giant Ponzi scheme.
A classic Ponzi scheme. Using new deposits to pay off the older investors.
Right, creating that illusion of profit, of growth.
But it's a house of cards, right? It has to collapse eventually.
Yeah, it can't go on forever.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, the money runs out.
Exactly. And that's what happened with QuadrigaCX.
So while all this is going on, Cotton's living the high life
Right.
off everyone else's money.
Oh, yeah. Investigators found a trail of extravagant spending, luxury properties, multiple, private planes, yachts, all paid for with money that wasn't his.
It's crazy. One person was able to deceive so many people.
It really is.
But wait, after he died, didn't it all stop?
You'd think so, right? But it didn't.
Really?
Even after his death, there were still cryptocurrency transactions happening linked to QuadrigaCX. Money was still being moved between those accounts.
But how? I thought he had the only keys.
Exactly. So either someone else had access or
he wasn't really dead.
well, there are a lot of theories floating around.
Yeah, what are some of the main ones?
The most popular one is that Cotton faked his own death. That whole trip to India.
Yeah.
It was all a cover.
Like a classic vanishing act.
Exactly. Think about it. The misspelled name on the death certificate, the quick embalming, no autopsy.
Yeah, it all adds up.
It definitely feeds into that narrative of an escape plan.
So what about his wife? Was she involved?
That's another theory. Some people believe Jennifer Robertson was in on it.
Oh.
Or at least knew about the fraud and helped cover it up.
I mean, she did inherit millions from his will.
She did, but she always maintained that she didn't know anything about his business dealing.
Right. Hard to say what the truth is there.
And then there's the dark web theory.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that one.
Some people believe he funneled all that money, those missing millions, into the dark web.
Right.
Laundered it using Bitcoin.
Makes it untraceable.
Exactly.
So we've got fake death, a potential accomplice, the dark web. It's like something out of a movie.
It is a wild story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this isn't just a mystery, right? These are real people who lost their savings, their dreams, because of one man's greed.
It's a tough reality to face. And it makes you wonder how it all went down. How did one man gain so much power in an industry that was supposed to be, decentralized?
Right. All about transparency. It really exposed the vulnerabilities of those early days of crypto.
Yeah.
And it triggered a lot of changes in the industry.
Like what happened after all of this came to light? So what happened after the news broke? What happened to QuadrigaCX?
Well, it went bankrupt. Not a surprise there. But the important thing is that auditors were finally able to get in and take a look at the company's records. What they found, it really showed just how deep Cotton's deception went.
What did they find? What was he doing?
He was making some incredibly risky trades, lost a ton of user funds.
Okay.
And to try to cover those losses up, he created fake accounts.
Oh, wow.
And he manipulated the trading volumes to make it seem like QuadrigaCX was way more successful than it actually was.
So it was smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, a house of cards built on lies and risky bets. Millions of dollars that belonged to other people.
So how did the crypto community react to all of this? I mean, I imagine people were pretty upset.
There was a lot of anger. A feeling of being betrayed, obviously.
Right.
And a huge demand for answers. Some people even wanted to exhume Cotton's body.
Really?
Yeah. They were convinced that his death was faked.
Right.
They wanted proof one way or another.
That's intense. Did that actually happen?
There were some legal battles, but ultimately, no, they didn't exhume his body.
Okay.
But even without that final piece of the puzzle, the QuadrigaCX collapse had a massive impact on the cryptocurrency industry.
What kind of impact? Did it change the way people viewed crypto?
It definitely made people more aware of the risks
Mm-hmm.
of centralized exchanges, where one person, like Cotton, could have that much control.
Yeah.
That led to a big push for decentralized platforms where control is spread out.
Right. So it's harder for one person to mess things up.
Exactly. And it also led to more scrutiny, more calls for regulation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The governments around the world realized they couldn't just ignore this.
Right. They had to take action.
Yeah. So a lot of countries, including Canada, they tightened up their rules around cryptocurrency exchanges.
What kind of rules?
They started requiring platforms to verify their users' identities
Oh, okay.
and monitor transactions for any suspicious activity.
So in a way, this whole mess, as awful as it was, actually made the industry better, more secure.
Yeah, exactly. It forced everyone to step up their game.
It also empowered users, gave them more of a voice.
Yeah. People started asking tougher questions, looking more closely at security measures, really taking control of their investments.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that even in the digital age, you can't just blindly trust anyone with your money.
Absolutely. Do your research, understand the risks, and don't be afraid to walk away if something feels off.
So what are some of the big takeaways from the QuadrigaCX saga? What can we learn from this whole crazy story?
I think the most important thing is due diligence.
Okay.
Whether you're investing in crypto, stocks, anything,
Right.
don't just jump in head first because it sounds exciting or you think you're going to get rich quick.
Take your time
Yeah. Understand the risks, do your research.
and trust your gut.
Exactly. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't be afraid to be skeptical.
Yeah. It's your money.
And remember, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread out your investments.
That's great advice. Well, this has been a wild ride.
It has.
The QuadrigaCX saga, it's a cautionary tale, for sure.
It is.
But it also shows how resilient the crypto industry can be.
Yeah. It adapted, it learned, it came back stronger.
And for anyone listening, if you're curious about cryptocurrency, keep learning.
Yeah, keep asking questions.
Don't let this story scare you away. Just be smart about it.
Absolutely.
Invest responsibly. That's all for this deep dive into the Crypto King's disappearance.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.